So now, what we will do, so in yesterday's session, we had talked about the different concepts of a data engineer, of what makes a data engineer daily routine, what a data engineer has to go through, and what engineer has to think through different problems, and he has different options, and he has to find the best solution out of those options, right? So if you, in case you have missed that session, please watch it on the YouTube channel we have on KSR. Okay, so it was very interesting. So similarly, on the similar lines, what we want to do today is that we want to understand about the cloud concepts. Why everyone is talking so much about the cloud, right? We all might have been that question in our mind. Um, why cloud every time, and the concepts which we are going to talk about will help us understand what is cloud, why cloud is so popular these days, right? You have seen that most of the tools which we have right now available, they are all cloud based. Snowflake data warehouse is a cloud based tool. Your AWS is cloud based tool. We have the DBT is also now in cloud. So why is everyone that? Why is like everything is in cloud-based tool? Why people are loving cloud-based technologies, right? Okay. So welcome to today's session. And now I hope you can see my screen. And so let's get started. First of all, look at a very nice example we have over here, right? So let's first of all look at all the steps we have to go through whenever we have to buy a new vehicle. Okay. We will understand the concept of the cloud by looking or by relating it to real time scenario. Okay. So now the very first thing which I want to discuss is that let us look at the different steps what we have to go through when we are buying a new vehicle, right? So now when you want to buy a new vehicle, first of all, you have to do your homework, right? So now, first of all, let's say I want to buy a new car, for example. Okay. Then the very first thing which I have to do is that I will have something in my mind, right? I will always be inclined to some brand or to some specific car I really like on the road. If I have a very good taste or if I have a lots of money, I will really be inclined toward Mercedes, towards BMW, or if I have a medium budget, then I will be really inclined towards the Hyundai cars. We have Tata cars. We have a lot of different Maruti Brezza is there. We have Scorpio is not there, but Fortuner is there. So it all depends on the taste, what you already have been liking, right? So for that, now because you are actually going to buy a new car, you have to now go to this. You have to now go to um, the stores, right? To the showrooms, where you will go to the showroom and now you will do the test drives, right? So the test drive is very important for you because now you want to see whether that car is comfortable or not. Because just looking at the car is a different thing, and driving a car is a different thing. So now, what you will do, you will go to all the showrooms of your favorite cars which you like, and you will do your homework. The do homework means that you will go to the showroom, you will test drive your car, you will see you will see what all are the engine variants they are available, what are the different colors which are available, and what are the different features they provide with the car. Okay, so I have to gather all this information from all the different vendors to then make the decision. Similarly, we had talked about yesterday as well that whenever we have a problem, we have multiple options to solve it and then multiple constraints. Let us also connect that dot to this example. My problem is that I want to buy a car, a new car for now, okay, not a used car. We are going with an option to buy a new car, okay. Now, the different options are different cars which I can buy, right? I can buy Rolls Royce, I can buy Bentley, but then the constraint is the how much money I want to spend, right? I can buy the most extreme luxury car, I can buy any car, right? But then the constraint says that I have to decide up to 20 lakhs, let's say. Okay. So according to all these constraints, I have to do my homework. Let's say in the 20 lakh car segment, I really like five cars. Then I will go to showroom of all these five cars and then will do the test drive and then I will make some decision, right? So then here you can see that I have now narrowed down my approach to only five cars, right? This is what we were also discussing yesterday. So yesterday we had seen that we have a lot of data available around us, but we have to first of all gather the necessary data. We are not concerned about unnecessary data going around, but we first of all have to acknowledge and find out what is the relevant data for me, right? Similarly, the relevant data makes a really one second event data is necessary, right? Then once you have a necessary data available with you, then you will go and you will look at different options that are available, right, before making any choice, right? Then after test drive, after having all the things, after getting the price, after finalizing the price, and after finalizing the delivery date, it could be possible that you finalize a car which may not be available right away, right? So let's say I have finalized five cars, for example. Okay. So we have the new Brezza, we have a car from Tata, and can someone suggest me some new cars that are out there in the market? We have. Can someone help me? Any enthusiast?
Harrier,
Yeah, Tata
Mahindra
Harrier.
XUV.
Yeah, Tata Harrier is there. Mahindra XUV. Anyone else? I need two more cars. Let's say uh we have Verna. Okay, new Verna is there. It
Honda I-20.
Yeah, I-20 is there. Yep. Okay, so I'll use this one. Yeah. Okay. So now uh I have finalized these cars, right? So now the different constraints of this car is out, right? So financially, there is no problem for me to buy these cars and they are within my budget. Now, I will have to look at different things: the comfort level, the driving ease, the engine, how powerful the engine is. And then I have to see whether these cars are available. Available. Okay. Now, although let's say I have finalized Hyundai Verna, let's say its price is 20 LPA, right? Oh, sorry, not at 20 LPA, but 20L, sorry. So then let's say I have finalized this car. Then I go to when I am going for the final discussions with the Hyundai people, they tell me that there is huge waiting list. You cannot get this car before 1st of December 2024. So does it make sense for me to buy this car? Do you think it is a good option?
No.
Do you think? Right, exactly. So then this is the same thing we had been discussing yesterday as well, right? So now you have to do your homework. So this is all your homework, you're doing it, right? So you have to test drive, you have to see whether it is fine. And then let's say finally, for example, my second preference was, let's say, Tata Harrier, right? And it is available to me on, let's say, 15th of July, right? Now it makes a lot of sense for me to buy a car because I need to buy the car on a urgent basis. I cannot wait so long. So let's say finally I finalize this car and then I will go with the finance options. Let's say I do not have the full money right now to buy this car. I want to go with the EMI options. So I will go with EMI payments, right? Okay. Then congratulations, we have bought a new car. And then what I have to do is that I have to do all the paperwork and do everything. by 15th of July, and then I have bought a new car. So you can see that I had to do a lot of work to buy a car. And then when I buy a car, I have to pay the insurance. I have to pay for additional, what you can say, additional, let's say I need additional features. I need, I need additional features like I need uh, a specific type of tire rims. I need a specific stereo system, and then I have to pay for the road tax. You can see that there are a lot of things which we have to pay, and then we might have to pay premium. Sorry, we have to pay premium for a specific color, for a specific color, right? So let's say you like a very nice shade of red, right? You like very nice shade of red and you want your car to have white interiors, right? Then what you will do, you will have to pay for those specific extra things as well, right? So these are some extra things which we have to pay, right? Is everyone okay? Everyone able to understand? Are we all good? Is there any other steps which I'm missing out? If someone has bought a car recently, they can point it out. Hi Venkatraj. Hello Venkat. Hi Sheikh. Hi Rupali. I want to hear your voices. Rani. Hi Rani. Good morning. Hello Priyanka. Hello Basa. Can I have a single hello from all of you?
Hi,
Can I hear your
good
voices?
morning.
Hi Priyanka. Very
Hi.
good morning. Just checking if you're all awake.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, hi. Very good morning. Just checking if everyone is waking up. It's too
Yeah,
early
hi,
for
hi Vipul,
class.
how are
Yeah,
you?
Yes. Thank you. Yeah, hi Prashant. Hi Venkat.
Yeah, hi, how are you?
Yes, I'm good. Thank you. How are you? Good morning. So, good
Yeah,
morning, Prashant.
yeah, good morning.
Okay. So I know it is very difficult to wake up at this time on a Friday morning, but still it is good. I really appreciate that we have all joined this session, but I also want to hear your voices. Okay. Okay. So has anyone bought any car recently? Do you think you might have to pay for any additional thing?
Registration, what about the registration number plate?
Yes. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Anything else? So I mean that is the most important thing which you have to pay, right? So let's say if the car is somewhere around, I don't know, 18 lakhs, then we have to pay additionally, let's say 5 lakhs for this one. Okay. I'm just exaggerating, but let's say on total you have to pay 23 lakhs and you have bought, oh, sorry, not 223. You have paid 23 lakhs and now finally you have the car available with you, right? Okay. So you did your homework, and then let's say you have gone for the EMI payments. Then you had to pay 18 lakhs in EMI, and then you have to know your loan. You have to do all these things. There are two options, right? We can either go with the loan option, but even if you go for a loan, you have to kind of go for a very long loan, like because it's a very good amount. Let's say I didn't go with a loan and I gave this amount right ahead. I do not want to give any loan. I do not want to go into any purposes, right? And then this is not applicable for me. I do not have to wait on any offer. And then this is applicable. These next step two, three, four are associated whenever I am going for a loan, right? And then finally, everything is done, right? Okay. So now everything is good. I'm driving my car for let's say 5 days, 6 days. You might have seen that there are some videos on the YouTube. There are people who are facing issue with data cards, right? If you are watching those videos, people are having issues with the data cards, very newly bought cars. They stop suddenly in between on the road. They stop working. There are some traction control. There are settings. If they play around with that, then the car suddenly stops in between the road. Nobody wants to have that experience. The car stops suddenly on the road. This is a very bad thing which can happen to you. A very sad thing that can happen to anyone. We just bought a new car. We were so excited to drive it. After 2, 3 days, it got stuck on the car and suddenly it is not working. Right? And then you are very sad about it. Now, what you have to do? You have to first of all, you let's say you planned a trip with your family, you planned a very nice vacation, you were waiting for the car for so long. You had to cancel out all those plans. You had to cancel out all the good dreams which you had with your family, and you had to tell your kids with a very sad face, "Hey kids, sorry, your your summer vacation are about to be over. I had planned a surprise for you in the final days, but then now the car is not working." So there is some emotional loss, right? Emotional loss is there. There is some happiness which you were expecting something, so your dreams also got crushed. And then what you have to do is that you have to then take your car to the service center, right? I have to take my car to the service center. Agree? And this can break anyone's heart to take the newly brand car to the service center, and you have done nothing wrong, right? You were just enjoying the ride and suddenly this happened, right? Now it is your responsibility to take the car to the service center to get it repaired, right? And then get it repaired, and then let's say after 2 3 days your issue then get resolved, right? And then your car is okay now. Okay. Now, let's say now everything goes good. And then finally, after a few days or after a few months, you have to take your car for the normal. I mean, we have some services done. So we go for normal services every time. And let's say after a few months, you want to have some leather seats upgraded in your car. Some friend told you that this car, this accessories is very good, the leather quality is so good, why don't you go with that as well? So you go with upgrades. You buy different things, you buy different accessories for your car, right? Buy additional accessories. Okay. Now, this is what has been happening. Let's now connect this example to the IT. So the same thing has been happening to the IT for a very long time. They had to purchase everything on their own. They had to go to the market. They had to purchase the different hardwares. They had to manage everything. They had to maintain everything. And if something goes wrong, it was the company's responsibility to get it fixed. Right? Okay. So now, if I let's say if I want to start a new company, so let's say this is my home, right? Let's say, because you can also look at the different historical history of the Google, of Facebook, of many big companies. They started in the garage. So I'm also very interested. I also started my company. So let's say any company name, okay? My GHI company, okay? I started my company also in the garage. I am very passionate about flowers. So what I did is that I started a new business where I am selling the flowers to the different vendors. I created a website, right? I created a website, and then for hosting that website, I need a lot of hardware, right? I need to buy a new computer. I need to, first of all, buy a new computer where I can actually host this website, so that if someone wants to access this website, they have to reach this computer because everything will be stored in this computer, right? So now I have to go out in the market. I have to do the similar steps. I have to, because now I want to buy a new computer. There will be computers by different companies. They will have their own features. They will have their own RAM. They will have their own CPU. They may or may not be available right now. Let's say, right now, if I want to buy a specific laptop and that laptop is not yet launched, it is going to get launched in, let's say, July 3rd, right? So for that, I will have to also wait for some days. And then I will also have to pay additional things for additional software which I want to be installed on that computer. Let's say if I want original Windows 11 on my laptop, I will have to pay extra. If I want to have some paid software, then I have to pay there as well, right? The same thing. And then if my computer suddenly stops working, Again, I will have to go through the repairing section. I will have to take it to the service center. So it is all my responsibility to manage, maintain, and take care of my all hardwares, right? So taking the the management, or I can say that the maintenance and oh, maintenance and management is my responsibility. See, ability, right? So whenever you are looking at a scenario where you have to do all the hard work, you have to do all the payment, and everything is your responsibility, then we call it as on-premise. Okay, everyone comfortable till now? So whenever you hear that a software is available on premise, it means that it is installed on my laptop. I have paid for that. And if something goes wrong, it is my responsibility to get it rectified, right? So this had been a very, very big problem with the companies. Imagine I had only one computer. The companies could have thousands of computers in their landscape. They could have like a lot of hardware, lot of softwares. So let's say if I talk about a very big company, for example, TCS, right? We are talking about Tata a lot, right? You might have seen there is nothing specific with Tata, but let's say we bought Tata Harrier, so that is why, okay, let's talk about TCS. Okay. So the TCS, let's say they have thousands of servers. They have, let's say, thousands of different, hundreds different softwares available with them. And do you think it is easy for TCS to manage all these things? If one of the servers get affected, it is their responsibility to get it fixed. It is their responsibility to buy a new server and to look out in the market what all are different server providers. We could have servers from HP, we have servers from Dell, we have server from Lenovo. So every time these vendors are coming to TCS and telling the advantages of their different hardwares, then it becomes very difficult for TCS to decide based on price, based on performances, based on different factors, and then these servers also have to be managed. It is not like that I buy a server and keep it in my office. I have to maintain. So if you know, these hardwares or these servers need to be maintained in a cool environment. Agree? Because they cause a lot of heat, right? And then I have to take additional people. I need additional people to take care of these hardware. I need a dedicated people. If let's say one of the server goes down, I need people who are going to fix that, because I do not want my clients to be affected at all because of the downtime, right? Now, what I have done is that there is a lot of headache for a company. And then let's say if I talk about softwares, softwares also have a lot of problems. There is a security issue. There is a bug issue. There could be a bug in my software. There could be a security breach. There could be an access issue. I do not want someone to access this software. I had to take care of that. There is upgrade issue, right? So let's say if you have a phone, it could be Android, it could be Oxygen OS, it could be Apple iOS. We always have to go through the upgrade, right? So you know that it is your responsibility to get your phone upgraded. You also have an option for an auto upgrade, but that is off by default. So whenever you have your phone, you it is your phone is your responsibility. Whenever something goes wrong with your phone, you have to take it to the vendor. You have to get it fixed. If let's say you want to buy a new back cover for your phone, if you want to buy or if you want to upgrade your phone, let's say, then you have to go, you have to pay, then it is all your responsibility. Your phone is also on premise. Okay, you can say that. because everything is your responsibility. IT companies were having a very, very daunting nights, a very big issues, and a lot of issues with managing everything. So that is one day AWS came with something called as cloud solution. AWS came to the market with something very revolutionary. They said that, hey, let's say, for example, this is not real, okay? So let's say AWS went to TCS and they said that, why are you taking all these headaches? I can take care of all this headache. I can have my servers. So what I will do, AWS said, is that I also have 1,000 servers. I also have these 100 softwares available with me. Softwares available with me. Why are you taking all these headaches? Why don't you give all this headache to me? I will manage all the hardware. I will manage every hardware. I will manage all the softwares. I will manage all the software for you. I will manage the security. I will manage all the issues. I will manage all the updates and upgrades to your software. So now this is where the AWS was the very first company to introduce the cloud concepts. The cloud concept says that you are not managing or maintaining everything, whereas someone else is doing it for you. Okay, so now TCS does not have to worry about anything. They do not own any hardware. They do not own any software. They do not have to have any cool environment. They do not have to hire additional people to hire to take care of this hardware. They do not have any sleepless nights at all. They have everything being managed by AWS. Now, TCS, now there is one more thing. Now, what's TCS has to do? Now TCS can now focus more on their business, right? Because they now have so much free time. They are now free from a lot of headache, a lot of worries, and lot of tension. They can now focus on their business. They can focus now. Let's say there is a huge wave of AI/ML coming. They can now focus on their employees. On their employees. They can focus on new technologies. Oh, my spellings are very wrong today, right? What is wrong? Okay, technologies. Okay. So now here you can see that now TCS can actually work on increasing their revenue. They do not have to worry about unnecessary thing. So now you can see that, right? The revenue of this company is expected to grow, right? Will grow for sure, because now they do not have to worry about anything. Now they can focus on their business, right? Do you all agree? Anyone, any questions, any doubts, any new perspective which I can have? Hello, hello, everyone sleeping?
No question. That's right.
Okay. Okay. So if the no one says anything, then I have to assume that everyone is yes. You can also put your messages, right? So just in case if you want to do that as well. Okay. Okay. So now, similarly, let's go back. So can someone
Just
tell
want to
me?
understand the cost factors also. How is the cost factor impacting?
Yeah. Okay. So the cost factors. So now previously we had to focus on everything. We had to buy everything. So before that, let's look at this one. We can look the cost factor overhead. Okay. So can someone tell me, is there any option available in the car segment as well? Can I relate cloud technologies to this car example?
I think yes.
Well, what? Please tell me.
I don't know about the cloud technology, but yeah, car
Uh-huh.
versions like we have X1, X2, X3, something like that.
No. If I compare, so over here, okay, thank you. But now, what I'll clarify my question. This is your on-premise, right? I can compare it to on-premise because I had to do everything. I had to pay, I had to go to showroom, I had to go through a loss, I had to get my car repaired, I had to pay a lot of things. So you can say this is equivalent to on-premise. Can someone tell me what is the equivalent of the cloud technologies where I do not have to buy a car, but still I can enjoy the benefits of a car? Okay, I will write it over here. I'll give few more seconds to you for think. Then I
Is
will
it
write my answer over here.
So like
is it
something.
car rental or Uber?
Yes, exactly. So you got the idea, right? So now I can understand you have understood the cloud concepts as well. Okay. So now I'll write my answer over here. This is the answer. Or I mean, it could be this one as well. Okay. Okay. So now let's say, okay, thank you so much. It was very, very nice. So I got the answer in the very first go. So who was that? Sorry, I missed that. I forgot to give the
Rupali?
credits. Yeah, hi Rupali. Okay, you were there yesterday as well, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you are you enjoying? Are you liking it? Are you understanding everything?
Yeah, I understand it. Yes.
Okay, great. Okay. Okay. So now, for example, take the Uber, for example. Okay, because Uber is more international. Okay. So now, if I do not want to go into all this mess, what I can do, I can install the Uber app, and then I do not have to go through all these options. Okay. Oh, sorry, I don't. Reza, you please help me know if I have some wrong spellings. Oh, I it was new Reza for a long time. Okay, okay. So I want to now travel in my car. So what is the purpose of a car? Travel, right? That is the only thing which we have to do, right? We make memories, we go to different destinations, we travel with our family. So we could be in a hurry, we could be, I mean, we could want to relax in the in the destination as well, right? There could be multiple things, right? If I want to enjoy the car, I have one more option in the Uber. What I will do, I will I will just install the app, and then let us see the different steps we have to go through. Okay. So first of all, I will I will not go into the signing option that I have to sign up. I will say that I have to first of all select the start or the source, right, from where I want to travel, source of the travel, and then I will have to select the destination, right? Destination, right? And then I have the option to choose the type of vehicle, right? Type of the car, or let's say or we can also have go with the vehicle, but I'll specifically say car, right? In car, again, we have multiple options. You can have economy. We could have, uh, I don't remember what was that. So there, can someone tell me what are the different types of option we have over here? We have, I guess sedan is there. We have outstation taxi. So these are different things which we have when we are going for the different cars. Okay. So just a few of them. Okay. Now, then we have to then wait for a driver to accept my request, right? Then I have to wait for, if you are looking living in a very good city where the roads are good, connectivity is good, then you have to wait for a minute. But sometimes if you are in Bengaluru and you're looking for a cab at 9 a.m., do you think that you will get a cab in 1 minute? We are also going to talk about the disadvantages. Okay, everything. I'm not going to say Uber is the best thing. Okay, you will have to wait for, let's say, on an average 10 minutes every day. I recall there was my friend who lives in Bengaluru, and whenever she used to go to the office, she has an iPhone. Okay, iPhone, she had iPhone, I guess, iPhone 8 or 9. And iPhones are very bad, are known for very bad battery. I don't know about the latest iPhones, but iPhone 8 was very, very bad with the battery. So she had Ola installed, or sorry, for example, let's say she had Uber installed on her iPhone 8, and her iPhone 8 used to be, let's say, 50% charged. Okay. And she used to look for a cab at 9 a.m. and she used to tell me that my iPhone battery got drained. I had to wait so long that my iPhone battery got drained and I was not able to find a car. Okay. And there is also a problem with the iPhone. The iPhone battery gets drained very, very faster. So let's say in 1 hour, it will get drained completely. Okay. So this is what I remember, that she had to wait so long for a car. Okay. Sometimes. Okay. I also said this is also your problem. Why don't you get ready at 8 a.m. and travel in a car at 8 a.m.? Right. So, okay. That is a different thing. So now what we have to keep in mind. So what is out of my mind? First of all, let's thought about it. What is not my problem when I'm traveling? The car insurance is not my problem, right? I assume a lot of things that they are in place. The pollution check is already done. Oh, sorry. The pollution check is already done. We assume that the driver knows how to drive, right? Of course, he came to pick me up, so he knows how to drive and he can drive in different places. For example, take me as an example. I can drive a car, but I am not very skilled in driving the hilly areas. I cannot take my car to Shimla, to Manali, to Rohtang Pass, to Dharamshala, to all these hilly areas we have. I am not able to drive the car in the let's say mountainous regions in the rainy days. So then, whenever you call a cab driver, you assume that this guy or this lady can drive in any circumstances. Okay, then the papers are all good. The driver has proper papers. Okay, all the driving licenses is there, all the checks are there, everything is fine, and the driver is also very well mannered. He is very professional. He is very nice person. In case if let's say tire of the car gets punctured, he has those skills as well. He can fix the car. For example, if I'm going out station, not a local. So if I'm going out station, I am assuming that he is skilled to change the tire if something goes wrong, right? Now, can someone tell me what I really care about? Sorry. Before that, I also want to cover something. So now I am now free of all these things. I do not have to worry about driving. I do not care about the engine, right? I don't care about whether it is V6, V8. I assume that the petrol is full in the car and it is available. I do not have to go through any finance option. I do not have to pay anything. I do not have any emotional loss. I do not have to go for repair. I do not have to buy any additional accessories. So you can see that all the headache is out of my mind. So can you all tell me what do I actually care about when I call a cab?
To reach on time.
Exactly. And what else?
Phone should be working.
Sorry.
Phone
Sorry.
should be working.
You okay? No, about the car,
Safety.
not the phone. Yeah. Sorry.
Availability of the vehicle.
Yes, great. Sorry. Someone said very. That is very.
Accuracy.
Sorry, Vasa.
Safety aspect.
Availability, cost, and security.
Uh-huh. Okay, great. Oh, 3 points correctly. Availability, cost, and security. Okay, great. Anything else?
If I can, for me,
Comfort,
it is
exactly.
parking. No need
The
of
parking.
intention of
Yeah,
parking.
I mean, yeah. If we are talking about things we do not care about.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so parking is fine. Okay, that is there, but that is my chauffeur's responsibility to park the car in the place and pay for the parking as well. Okay, I do not have to worry about it. Okay, so thank you so much. So we have got very good points. Okay, so now here you can see that I can now focus on something of my of something, right? And I have to focus on these things unnecessarily. Thinking about these things, what if some policeman stops my car? What if my tire get burst? What if the petrol is less, I have to buy more petrol? What if I go to a petrol station and my Paytm does not work? How will I pay? Okay, I will pay, I will call my friend. What if my car breaks down in between? So here you can see that, right? I do not have to worry about these things. A lot of things are out of my mind. I actually now focus on these things. And there is one more advantage. While I am driving in the car, I can also read a newspaper. I can do my office work. I can also schedule a call. For example, if it takes, I have seen a lot of IT guys traveling in a cab and they are joining calls, right? So now, as long as these features are met, I am okay, right? So these are the things which I care about. So now, here you can see that how easy your life becomes. And you can also go with the different payment options. You are also so now that there was a question about the financial aspect, right? So I'm sorry. Okay, right. Now let's come to that. Okay, so over here in the above option, for example, if I go with the complete payment, I had to pay for the car's price and then I had to pay additional for a lot of things. I had to buy 23 lakhs lump sum money. And if something goes wrong, I had to pay for the repair. And if I need additional accessories, I have to pay for that as well. Over here, the payment is like very, very cheap, right? I can go for any type of car. I can go for economy car if I want, right? So the payment is very cheap. I am saving a lot of money, right? We are not talking about very, very long term, of course. But now, if you are in a new city, for example, if you are staying there for 3 months, 6 months, it is a very good option for you. You are saving money, you are living a comfortable life, and then you are saving your time. You are using this time which you could have wasted, not wasted, of course, not for those who enjoy driving. That's different thing. If you do not enjoy driving, you get stressed very easily. I have also seen, I was also very stressed. I guess every one of us is stressed, right? When we start driving very recently, right? We are all very stressed. We get anxious. Oh my god, oh my god, oh, this car is coming very close to me, right? You know that feeling. It is very difficult to drive on a highway. People are like driving very quickly on the both sides. I remember once when I was driving on the highway for the very first time, two cars very fast. Both the cars went very fast from both of my sides, and I was like, oh, what was that? So okay, so you know that, right? So you can see that so I always like the comfort of the car, of a cab, and this makes me also use that time because I do not enjoy driving. It could be for them. And then I do not have to worry about it. Okay. But these constraints have to be met. Okay. Okay. So now let us first of all look at the on-premise issues. This is your on-premise. And then if you look at the cloud, so this all was on cloud. This Uber, you can think of being on the cloud where someone else is taking care of everything. You do not have to manage anything. You do not have to maintain anything. You do not have to buy anything. You can have everything on rent. Everything is rented. Your hardware is rented. Your software is rented. Your different services which you are using are rented. We have very nice term. We have something called as pay as you go. Okay? It means that you pay for those services which you are using and you do not pay for the services which you are not using, right? So this same thing is also applicable to Uber, right? If you are not paying for something, if you're not using your any car, you do not have to pay for it. If a car is waiting somewhere for 5 minutes, it is not your responsibility. If a car is waiting on a red light for 3 minutes, it is not your responsibility. You are not burning the petrol. You have to just pay for a specific amount which you have agreed with the service provider, right? So now so now I guess everyone is now comfortable with the on-premise and on cloud. Everyone comfortable? Any questions before moving to the slide? Shall we move ahead? Yes,
Yes.
no. Okay, thank you.
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so now let's look at the on-premise problems which we had when we were buying our own car. We had increased maintenance cost. So I'll quickly go through this, okay, because we have already discussed these things. If you want me to specifically focus on a point, just let me know. We require a greater capital investment, of course. We have a great increase the risk of data loss. What if something goes wrong? What if my car gets kidnapped? Okay, so let's say what if someone steals my car? What if someone steals my car's tire? So these, you might have seen those examples where it was like some thieves stole the tire of the car. They stole the mirrors. They stole the, I mean, there could be some data loss, some loss which can happen to your car. And then you have to always scale up. Let's say right now you buy a car. For example, let's go to the car buying example. You buy a Tata Harrier. You use this car for 2 years, and then your family is increased. You have a new kid, and your parents, you have now started living with your parents. Then Tata Harrier may not be a good option for you, right? Now you might want to upgrade your car. You might have to buy a car where 8 people, 10 people, or not, I mean, not 8, 10, but 6 people can sit together, right? But in Tata Harrier, it is very difficult for everyone to travel. It is not comfortable. Now, after 2 years, you will have to upgrade your car, right? You will have to buy, let's say, Innova, for example. I don't know which bigger car is there. If you are not happy with Tata, you will buy a car of different brand. But if you are happy with Tata, you will buy some big car. For example, you have a lot of money, then you go with Tata Carens. That is a very nice car. If someone has not seen it, I'll show it to you. I really like that car. In case if someone has seen it, let me know. Carens. This is very nice car. Okay. Okay, so this is very nice, long car. Oh, so this is small. I have seen it very long. Okay, this one. So this is a long car. We can have multiple people. This is very spacious, and people can go on a long drives. So here you can see that. I will go with this car. Okay. Oh, not this car, not on the wallpaper. This is not good for my big family. This is good only for 2 people. Can someone tell me which car is this?
I think this is Ferrari electric one.
12 cylinder.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a new car where Ferrari is going with 12 cylinders. Okay, and this is very bad economically. Okay, so it has 12 cylinders. Okay, thank you. Okay, so here you can
And
see that.
and
Yes,
the car
sorry.
which you're saying, the Kia, how much is the price for that?
I need to check that. Okay, I don't know the
Uh,
price.
I thought you're planning
Uh,
to buy. That's the reason you're telling about that.
I just like that car. Huh? I cannot buy that. I have not checked the prices. I'll check that later on. Okay,
Yeah,
maybe
sure.
when I'll have a lot of money. Okay, okay. So coming back. Thank you. Okay. So now let's look at the other options. And then we have the limit, we have a limitation to scale, right? We cannot be, let's say, for example, I move on to another family and we are now a joint family. We are 10, 12 people, right? There is a limitation of a car, right? I cannot buy two cars, Tata Kia, I cannot buy two Kia Carens and then stick together and then I can have 12 people traveling together, right? Then there is a limitation of a car all the time, right? Then over here, the hardwares have a limitations. We have to adhere to the IT industry compliance. We have to take care of the software compliance. We have to take care of the security, a lot of things. And for that, I need extra people to take care of my hardware and software. And there could be performance hit as well. Let's say, for example, when we were having a car, we had performance issues. The car is not giving very good performance. This is breaking down somewhere. I am not able to take it on a hill. There could be a lot of issues which could happen with my car as well. So there could be performance hits on the on-premise as well. Okay. There are good things about on-premise. I do not want to tell that on-premise is always bad or having your own car is always bad, right? We are not going to say that on-premise is bad or buying your own car is bad. Buying your own car is also a good solution, but it gives you a lot of headache. When we talk about on-premise and cloud comparison, we always talk about convenience, right? Convenience is the only thing which we are provided with when we are moved to the cloud, right? We have a convenience of all these things, right? we have convenience of these things. We are paying for the convenience, right? That is the thing which you can all keep in your mind. We are not paying for anything. If we can go through all these things, these are not headaches. All the organizations previously were taking care of everything. But if you want to, we are not saying that on-premise is bad or in all the scenarios, cloud is good in all scenarios, or we are not saying cloud is always a good option. That is not wrong, right? Everything has its pros and cons. Okay. So I have written on-premise problems, but cloud also has its problems, right? So this thing cloud is not like a perfect solution, right? So we will talk about that as well. Okay. So this is some steps which we have discussed about when we were booking an Ola app or an Uber app. Okay. Now, what was the needs of the cloud computing? We have already discussed. It is very cost effective and we have unlimited storage space, right? So let's say if you have 12 people traveling to a destination, you can book two or Uber cabs, right? You can book two cabs, right? You can book three Ola Uber cabs. You can book four Uber cabs. There is no limitation of how many cars you want. But if you were having only one car, you had a lot of restrictions, right? You cannot go with so many people together, right? So there was a lot of limitations. So we have a limited storage space when we talk about cloud. We have backup and recovery. Let's say if your car goes wrong, your driver has skill to have a backup tire, to have a, let's say, backup battery, to have a backup, a lot of things he is taking along with himself or herself. And then he is capable to recover any issues. Let's say if the tire goes wrong, he or she has a additional tire and he is capable of recovering that as well. Okay, whenever the need arises. Efficiency is also very good. I can ask for a very good car. So let's say today I have a lot of money and I want to go premium. I can ask for a sedan car, right? There is no one stopping me to book a sedan car when I want to splurge and when let's say I want to impress my girlfriend or when I want to impress my wife, I am taking her out for a date. I can take a very nice car, very cool car, and I can impress her. Okay, I am calling a Mercedes Benz for you. Let's go on a date, right? So there is no limitations to what I can order. I can ask for an upgraded option. I can go for a downgraded option. I have a lot of flexibility. If I am driving alone, I can ask for a small car. We also have an option for mini. I remember now. I can ask for a mini car. If I have three of my friends traveling together, I can go for economy car. Oh, sorry, this mini should be sitting in between. Mini. Okay. Similarly, if I want to impress someone, if I want to impress my boss, for example, I want to go around and I have to travel with my boss, I can choose for a sedan. Okay. So I can go with a lot of options. Okay. And then I have a strategic edge. Again, I can impress my boss. I have a strategic edge. I can impress someone. If I want to impress my girlfriend, I can book a very good car. If I want to impress my boss, if I want to impress my client, I can take a very nice car. But this option was not there when I had my own car, right? I had only one car. I had a fixed space in which people can sit, and that is all I had, right? So now I can strategize, right? I have an edge. And now I can go with the faster deployment, right? So now here, when you wanted to travel in a car, on the on-premise, you had to go through all these steps and you had to wait, you had to pay money. And if you do not have this much money, you had to go for EMI option, you had to go to banks, talked about them. What is your interest rate? Decide on the tenure, blah, blah, blah. A lot of things you have to go through, right? But in the cloud, you do not have to worry anything. You just have to install an app. That's all. So you have faster deployments. Everything is available quickly. For example, if the TCS was doing everything on its own, they had to buy different servers, they had to install servers, they had to do everything on their own. Whereas now, when AWS is taking care of everything, TCS is now can now set up their organization very, very fast because AWS is saying that already have all that hardware. I already have those software available with me. I do not have to go through that time. I do not have to waste my time because everything is available already. I can have my faster deployments. So, if you talk about the cloud computing, we have very, very important major players, right? So now let us different cloud providers, right? We had talked about different cloud providers uh, in the car segment. We have Ola, we have Uber, we have, I don't know, in China we have one more different brand is there. Okay. So now if we talk about the cloud providers, we have AWS by Amazon. This is the first company who introduced the cloud concept. They were the very first company who thought about outsourcing the IT resources. So now they are outsourcing the IT resources. So they came to the IT companies. They said that why don't you outsource all your headache to us and we will take care of everything. They came up with different services. Each service corresponds to a feature. Service, you can say it to be a software, right? In the AWS, we have different services to solve our problem. For each problem we have a different service available in the AWS. For example, if you want to have a different laptop, if you want to have a hardware, you do not have to buy it. You can rent it from the AWS and you only pay for a rent. You do not have to purchase your own hardware. You are secure. You can just have to pay for these services which you are using, right? Now, after AWS, we had the another player which is Azure by Microsoft. Microsoft. Okay. So again, this was the second company who came up with the different cloud services which were similar to Amazon. But now the problem was that Amazon was well ahead in time. So that is why the market share of Amazon is around, I guess that is way more than that. Let's check the latest statistics. So let's not go with the um, cloud providers market share. Market share. Let's look at that. Okay. So here we can see that, oh, this is very old. This is 2018. Oh, 2021. At least, okay, it is 2 years back. Okay, that's fine. Okay. So now here we can see that this is the total revenue and this is the, I mean, this is not what I want. One second. This is something we will see later on. Okay. So here we can see that this is 2023. This is the latest. Okay. So here we can see that the AWS is having 33% of the market share. So 33%, let's say if you have 100 people who are using cloud services, 33 people are using AWS, meaning one third people are implementing their solutions using AWS. And at the second spot, we have Azure. Azure is also having its own benefits. It is having its own negative sides, positive sides, and then it makes up to the 21%. If we have 100 people using cloud services, 21 of them are using Azure. And then the third largest player, I mean, here we can see that is Google, or Google provides the something called as GCP, Google Cloud Platform. And here we can see that it has 8% share. If we have 100 people working on AWS or on different cloud services, 8 people are using GCP. And then we have multiple players. We have Alibaba, we have Rackspace, we have a lot of different companies who are also providing the cloud services. All together now provide the 38% share, right? So here we can see the cloud concepts. So everyone comfortable with this? So that is it for today. I do not want to give a lot of information in one day. I want everything to be digested slowly and so that everyone understands what we are going through. We are talking about different concepts. Yesterday, we talked about the data engineering. Today we talked about cloud concepts, and tomorrow we will talk about the introduction to databases. And then we will start connecting the dots. Right now we are just talking about the basic concepts, and as we will move forward in our course, you will see how beautifully all these things work together, right? So now once we have understood about the cloud technologies, then we will also see how this cloud technology is leveraged by AWS, how things work at the back end. And then we will also see how the cloud technologies enable the a software Snowflake data warehouse. Snowflake data warehouse is also using cloud technologies. It is also using cloud architecture at the back end. Okay. So now that is it from my side for today. So if anyone has any questions, do please let me know before wrapping up. And even if, yeah, Mayappa.
So Vipul, I have a basic question
Uh-huh.
in terms of the practice, right? So
Uh-huh.
should we start creating accounts in Amazon or AWS going forward, or how is it
We will do it together. Everything we will do together. The purpose of this course is that we are not assuming anything, right? We are like we have different skill sets. We have people from different backgrounds. So we will take care of everything. We will not assume anything. For example, when we will go to Python, we will even discuss how to install Python and how the Python code works as well at the backend. No assumption that you know about Python, you know about how to install Python, what are the different things we get when we install Python. So we are taking care of everyone. Okay. We will install everything. We will take care of everything. We have zero assumptions. Okay. This is something which I wanted to clarify.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
have a question related to Databricks.
Uh-huh.
What
Yes,
is
Ravi.
the Databricks? I see that is not included in our course.
No, no, it is not here. Databricks is, I guess, it is a part of the Azure data engineering. Although Databricks is not associated to a specific cloud provider, we can also have Databricks associated to the Amazon Web Services as well. But over here, our main focus will be Snowflake Data Warehouse and doing the big data inside of the Snowflake Data Warehouse, not outside, right? So that is why we have included Snowpark, so that we can learn the big data and all these different Snowspark services inside of the Snowflake Data Warehouse rather than learning a separate tool.
And
Yeah. Uh-huh.
is it like so Snowflake is equivalent to Databricks, something like that?
Uh, it can do a lot of things which Databricks can do. So Databricks can also play with the data. I mean, there are a lot of things which Databricks can do. You can also do them in this Snowflake data warehouse. So if you can do 10 things in different places, why don't do this all together in one place, right?
Okay, okay, okay.
I have a question.
Yeah, sure, Venkat.
Will you be covering Airflow?
Not Airflow, but in AWS, there is a feature called as MWAA, managed. There is a managed workflow, Apache Airflow workflow. So over there, we have the similar thing. So the same thing, right? I had the same question yesterday. So in the Apache Airflow, you have to take care of everything, right? You had to download it, you had to install it, and then you had to configure the connection. And it is a very difficult task. AWS has a feature which is MWAA. It is a managed Apache Airflow instance. You do not have to install anything. You do not have to take care of anything. And then you can seamlessly integrate your MWAA with S3 buckets, with Redshift, with Snowflake Data Warehouse, with many different services, with EC2. So that is the advantage of MWAA.
Okay,
So
so
we
we
are
will be
covering,
using it. We'll be
yes, we
using
will
it
be
to
using
do
it.
all the orchestration,
Yes,
data
exactly.
orchestration.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Also, just a generic question, maybe a little bit advanced for the
Oh,
current
no issues, no issues.
this thing. How do you what are the factors to consider when a client is picking up a cloud warehouse vendor?
Okay.
So right now you have several options, but Snowflake and
Uh-huh.
Databricks are the top.
Uh-huh.
So if a client is say seeking your opinion, which one to pick, how do
Which
they make that determination?
which software or which cloud provider?
Which cloud pro? So Snowflake or Databricks? They want to shift from
Okay.
Redshift to Snowflake or
Uh-huh.
Databricks.
Okay.
How do you pick? How do you
Uh-huh.
pick the best for your business?
Okay. So very first thing, we have to consider the pricing, right?
Mhm.
So pricing is a very big factor which is going to help your business to decide something, right? And then we have skill set, right? So now let's say you already have people who are working in Snowflake data warehouse, or they know about cloud technologies, or they are already working in the Redshift. So working in a if you are having, if you think from client perspective, if you have a skill set already, you do not want to bring new people and have additional cost, right? So skill set is another thing. So if you have a people who already know about Snowflake data warehouse, or if your company has few people who are Snowflake certified, then you will go with Snowflake data warehouse. Whereas if you have some people who know about, because we are talking about a very large organization, right? So if
Now,
we are
if
talking
let's
about
say
huh,
nobody knows either of them and the pricing is
huh,
the same, like
right,
in
right,
terms
right.
of
Okay, pricing
features
is
and
same.
capabilities,
Huh.
what
Then
what do
we can
you
go.
consider?
Okay. So if pricing is same, then I will. So what was the constraint, right? Sorry.
The people, nobody knows either of them and pricing is the
Uh,
same, then what factors do you consider?
okay. So now one thing is that there is also ease of use, something which you can remember. Let's say
Okay.
if I'm a beginner, right? If I am going from, I am not so technical person, then if someone tells me which one you want to use, and if someone gives me a specific software to use, AI will find Snowflake Data Warehouse very, very easy to use. You know this, right?
Okay.
Right? Agree?
Yeah.
So in the Databricks, you have to create a cluster, you have to increase the size, you need to know a lot of things, and then you create a new script, and then a lot of things are there. Whereas in Snowflake Data Warehouse, whenever you create a new account, a virtual warehouse will already being created for you. You do not even have to create a new virtual warehouse. That is already there for you. And you just can start writing your SQL queries. What do you think is going to be easy? And the interface of Snowflake Data Warehouse is also very easy to use. So
Yeah.
that is one thing which we can use. Ease of use is also a very good factor when we are going to choose any software, right?
Mhm.
Do you agree?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else? So, and are you comfortable? I mean, any question which you have?
I think when you come to like ease of using
Uh-huh.
this Azure data engineering is much
Uh-huh.
easier to
I
use.
agree.
It looks like, right?
I
Because
agree. I agree to that. Yeah.
it bundles everything
Uh-huh.
into one platform, like
Right.
Databricks, multiple tools also. Like it's very user friendly to implement.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I
that is
agree. I
very
agree.
less. So core. Why we should use this
Okay.
AWS data engineering in
Okay.
because it will be ultimately achieving the same functionality,
Uh-huh.
right?
Right, right,
Uh,
right. Okay, good question. Thank you so much. Okay, so now coming back to the same thing, I told that every cloud provider has their own benefits and every cloud provider has their downside as well, right? Right now, why AWS is having very good market? Because it was early in the race, right? I guess this, if I'm not wrong, AWS was first introduced in 2006, right? So you can see that they are in the cloud market for around 18 years. 18 years is a very, very long time. They have gone through a lot of things. They have experimented a lot of things. They have seen a lot of different use cases. Whereas Microsoft is like, you can compare it to be only 10 years older, right? And from here, that is why one thing why Amazon has a lot of customer is because it has on the market for a very long time. Okay, so yes, I agree. Azure is very, very easy to use, but still, I am always inclined to AWS because if you look at the history of AWS, they have very, very nice integrated features more than the Azure, right? And one more thing, if you know, there was also a data breach by Azure very recently, right? So if you know about this, there was a data breach. Oh, so there it is. Okay, in February, I guess. So here you can see that. So now you can see. So these things you will never find out for AWS because it was developed very slowly. You can compare these guys. You Has someone else read about this? Do you all know about this?
No, actually, we didn't know that.
See, so that is what you can see, that nobody might have heard about any issues which is with the AWS. So this is one thing which is going to hit the market sentiments, right? So right now we are not just talking about the features, we also have to see what is the secure thing. So if, let's say, if you go to a restaurant, a dish takes a restaurant takes 15 minutes to cook something, and the other industry takes 3 minutes to cook something. So which one is going to be more tasty?
Yes, security is could be one thing,
Yeah.
but when you
Ease
use
of use, yeah.
AWS data engineering, ease of use
Uh-huh.
is there in the
Yeah,
Azure
I
better, but
agree. Ease of
and
use is
also
there.
when you use AWS, you have to
Uh-huh.
use lot of different tools
Yes.
like Airflow, Snowflake, and Python
Uh-huh.
and different things, right? So
Uh-huh.
uh,
Okay.
the
Yeah.
DBT also, I think, widely used when
DBT is
you go with
separate thing. Yeah. Separate thing. Yeah. Uh, See, in the AWS as well, we also have these tools. We have AWS Glue, where also we can do the transformation, right? It is just we are not using it, right? AWS has different DevOps options as well. They have CI/CD options as well. It's just like they are not that widespread, right? So another thing which we will go right now is that the market capitalization, right? Right? So I agree. Ease of use for Azure is very good. That is fine. Full points given to Azure for that, and 1-0 for that. Okay. But in security, I will give 1 point to AWS, and then ease of use, okay, for Azure. And then market capitalization, I will give to AWS as well. Here you can see that the market capitalization of AWS is 33%. So it means that every third company is using AWS, and it is growing day by day. And they are also adding new features. There are also AML capabilities in the AWS. So in the AWS, we have more control over something, right? So let's say if you are driving a car, you have more control over these things. Although it is going to be very difficult for you to manage everything, but in the end, you have more control. So that is why, I mean, I am also like a enthusiast for AWS. I have done AWS certifications. And one more thing, if you look at the Snowflake data warehouse, do you know where Snowflake data warehouse was created for the very first time? Anyone knows about Snowflake data warehouse history?
it's AWS only. It's hosted, I think.
Exactly.
It's
So
a
very
partner
first
with
time.
Snowflake is a
Exactly.
AWS partner, I think. Yeah.
Exactly. So why do you think Snowflake chose AWS?
Yeah. And another point I'm thinking is
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure, but I think AWS has a very better integration capabilities with all the open source platforms, I think, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So if you know about Netflix, Netflix is also hosted on AWS. We have Dropbox. Dropbox is also on AWS. So you can see that oh, sorry, not Dropbox, Dropbox. So here you can understand that there are very major company providers who are using AWS since very, very long, and they are happy with that, right? So maybe from a user perspective, from a single user who is just going to use the cloud services, for them, ease of use matters. I agree. For me as a user, I do not have to worry about these things. But if we look at the big picture, then the AWS shines over Azure. Okay. So Snowflake Data Warehouse. So it is very interesting story of Snowflake Data Warehouse if you are very keen to know about the story of Snowflake Data Warehouse. So Snowflake Data Warehouse was developed on AWS, right? So if you see the Snowflake Data Warehouse and AWS in the beginning had a very bitter relationship with each other. So AWS had a policy which says that we are going to help all our customers to build whatever they want to do. So they have customer first uh, policy, right? Under that policy, Snowflake Data Warehouse created a data warehouse solution. And then AWS said that, okay, we also have a data warehouse solution, Redshift, and someone is using my hardware to compete with me. You see that? There is something called as competition, right? This is not competition, co-opetition, I guess. There is a some other term. So it says that you are using hardware of AWS and you are competing against their own software, right? So there was a very, very bitter relationship they had in the beginning. But because AWS has customer first agreement, so that is why they helped the Snowflake data warehouse to bring their software up to date. And now what they have is that they have a very strong partnership and they are working together to provide the best services available to the customers, right? So here you can see that the AWS never competed with them. They never went against them. They followed their policy and they helped them to make and bring new features to the software, right? So there are a lot of things which are not there, which are not in our scenario, which we have never heard of, which are there going on, which are deciding all these things. Okay. So here you can see that the AWS is always shining. So in the job market as well, for example, if you go to job market, so if, oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, that was right. So if we go to job market, you can see that if 33%, if every third company is using AWS, then getting the job in AWS is going to give you more edge. You can see that there are a lot of companies who are using AWS. So you have a better chances to get a job in AWS as compared to Azure. I am not saying that there could be some changes in market. Market also changes. Market is also affected by these kind of sentiments. This is a negative thing. Then the market will also keep on changing. So what I would suggest you is to stick to a software, to stick to a service provider who has been there for a very long time, who has no negative news, who has been helping other software develop. Many big companies are trusting on them. So let's go with that. Although it is harder to use, although it is very tough to use, right? So still we will go with that because there is a good market sentiment. You have more better option to land a job in AWS. If this, let's say, if this news has affected companies, then of course, the best option, everyone will go to the best option, that is AWS. You might find it if you understand AWS, the concepts are same, right? You could have to go through the same things from both the sides. Okay. Agree?
And
Yeah.
if you know the concepts of data engineering in AWS, I think
You can
it will
apply it
be
anywhere.
easy to fix in
Yeah.
easy to learn Azure
Yeah, you
also,
can
right?
learn
Later.
Azure, you can learn GCP. These are all same thing. If you know Snowflake Data Warehouse, it is very easy for you to switch to Databricks. It is very easy to understand Redshift. So that is why here we are to understand the concepts first, right? If
Okay.
you know the
Okay.
concepts, you can apply it.
The similar implementations will be overall similar for
Yes,
even Azure Cloud or even Databricks,
yes,
right?
yeah. So it's like comparing Java with Python. Java is popular, Python is also popular. Then why are people going with Python? It is because it has a lot of acceptance in the market. Lot of people are using Python. Python is very easy to use. Okay, I agree AWS will not go with that option. I know. But Python has its own library. It has very large pool of open source community. There are a lot of things which help us to decide something, right? You will not use Python because it is just easy to use, right? You will look at multiple things. If let's say Python was very easy to use, but it does not have very large market capitalization, Java was used by most of the people, do you think that you will still go with Python? And let's say if Java is more secure with Python, do you think people will go with Python? So it is the same thing. You can implement same thing in Python. You can implement same thing in Java. It is just like we want to go with something which is more secure, which has better history, and which is having bigger market capitalization. So that tomorrow, let's say, if market go towards Azure, because you say Azure is easy to learn, so why not first of all learn the tough thing, and then we can scale up to Azure in, let's say, 20 days, 15 days. But in the opposite direction, it is going to be very difficult. If I learn the easy thing, then if
Yeah,
I go
correct. That's
towards
correct.
Azure, right? Why
Yeah,
not
that's
learn
correct.
the tough thing first? Right? Okay. So I guess now everyone is convinced to start with AWS, right? I do not
Yeah.
have a personal anything going on with the AWS. I don't know. I just like
No,
AWS.
I just want to know like uh,
Uh,
the reasoning only, not
okay.
I'm just not trying to uh,
No, no, no.
promote Azure actually. So
No, no, no.
yeah, I just
Okay.
want to know the
Yeah, now you are
reasons.
convinced?
Yeah, I'm very
Okay.
much.
Now
Yeah,
Snowflake
hi,
is
Vipul.
acquired by the
Yeah, hi.
Azure.
Sorry, who
I
was that?
thought so.
Yogesh?
Now, yes, now Snowflake
Yeah.
is part of the Azure, no?
Snowflake is, yeah,
Microsoft.
Snowflake is there. Yeah, now you can have Snowflake anywhere. We are just
No,
talking
no,
about
I'm
like they have
telling
stronger.
the
Huh?
market is now Microsoft is acquired the
Yeah,
Snowflakes.
they are catching up. Yeah, they are catching up. I agree.
Oh, okay.
Snowflake Data Warehouse is available on Azure, on AWS, on Azure, and on GCP as well.
No, no,
Similarly,
I'm
Databricks is also
no,
available.
no, that technical part is okay,
Uh-huh.
but coming to the business,
Uh-huh.
the Microsoft is acquired the Snowflakes. Am I right? No, recently
No,
I heard that.
no. Nobody has acquired the Snowflake Data Warehouse. Snowflake Data Warehouse is acquiring a lot of companies that I can say.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, hi, Vipul. I
Yeah,
have a
hi.
question for you.
Yeah, sure.
So, so in the job market,
Uh-huh.
how do you look in Naukri? Means what
Okay.
on what basis we need to search for
Yeah.
our learning this profile?
Okay. So for this thing, you can look for data analyst job, right? Or you can look for data engineers. So now, if you are looking at the skill set, then you can look for, we are going to cover SQL Server, we are going to cover AWS data engineering, we are going to cover the Python. So you will see that, right? And we are also going to understand its Spark concepts in the Snowflakes, Snowpark as well. Okay. So if you can also go with the keywords. Okay. So these things are very, very important to be known about the by a developer. Okay. So either if you want to go with this keyword search, you can go with this one. If oh sorry, I have left the Snowflake data warehouse.
Can you open once Naukri if you don't mind?
Yeah, sure,
And
sure, sure.
just so how it we just wanted to see how the job market is in Naukri
Yep, yep.
for this pro.
I don't know which job I will have.
So any cost associated with the like while having the training when we create accounts in Snowflake
No,
or
no, no.
AWS?
Snowflake data warehouse, we have 1 month free trial, and AWS is also we will use free trade. So no payment. Python is also very free. It's free. Okay.
Okay.
So here you can search for a role. Either we go with Snowflake developer or Snowflake data engineer, Snowflake SQL, Snowflake Redshift. You can apply for all these roles. Okay. So because we will be covering Redshift, a database, the SQL, data engineer, data developer. Okay. So okay, that's fine, I guess. Then you can go with experience and your location. Okay. So here you can see that.
So you will be showing how do we build the real-time data pipelines
Yeah, of
from
course, of
on-prem
course, of course.
to Snowflake, on-prem
Yes.
to AWS, right?
Yesterday I also showed you there is already a video which you can refer. If you
Okay.
go to our channel, if you go here, then there is already a video, a very interesting video. So by the way, this is the yesterday session. Okay. And then if you come here, this is a very interesting video where I have shown that how we can create automated data pipeline from your MySQL to Snowflake data warehouse. Okay, so I have used Python in this one. I have used the Windows scheduler in this one. I have used Snowpipe. So if you are interested, then you can have a look at this. Okay. So we will keep coming with these data pipelines. I will keep posting videos. I want you all to be successful. So I want you to have a job. It's not like a business for me, right? I'm a tutor. It is a very serious thing for me. I am not going for money, right? My responsibility is to help you all to help us all grow together and to have a bright career ahead. Okay.
Yeah, people. So this is which batch you're teaching this
Oh,
AWS with Snowflake?
yeah. Yes.
No, I'm asking you which batch you are teaching. This is
Which batch meaning? I mean, this is the batch which we
means
have
how
right
many
now. We will
batches you
create a
are.
batch.
A
How
number
many
of batch,
batches?
how many number of batch is this current
Oh,
batch?
okay. Currently, I'm just associated with KSR Datavizon. I am actually providing this online trainings for last 3 years. So I have a different background and I provide corporate trainings, right? So that is a different thing. Okay, but with KSR, this is the second, I guess, second batch I have. Last year I gave one batch, and now I am back with KSR Data Vision. I am kind of a freelancer. I work along with these different institutes and give them corporate trainings. Have clients from Dubai, so if you want to know about more, so last week I gave a session to Dubai-based company. So it was a corporate batch, and they wanted to learn about Snowflake Data Warehouse. So I've been working on multiple technologies. I also give training in AI, ML, and data science. So, I mean, I do a lot of stuff around in the corporate trainings. Okay.
No, the
But
reason me asking is
uh,
which batch you are teaching is. So last batch when you taught means how many
last
got
year.
placed? My
Oh,
question is
that number I cannot have. That you can check with KSR Television. I mean, I don't have that numbers.
okay.
So
And
So all
one
the
more
statistics are with KSR.
can you share your LinkedIn account once?
Yeah,
So
sure. Anytime. Why not?
uh,
Yeah, someone was asking something.
yeah, another question related to like showing any reporting tool also like once we load the data,
Uh-huh.
is it are you
Yeah,
going
quickly I
to
can show. We can see that very quickly. Not going into very in depth. Okay. I can show you how we can do that. For sure. That is like you can go end to end, right? We can use the AWS Athena to do that. Will that work?
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, like in the course, the Athena is also involved, right? Like you not
Yeah.
go into the deep of it.
We can
It's
look
included in
into
the
like
course.
very small
like
topics.
maybe
If
we can have a 1 day session on
yeah,
any
yeah,
one of the reporting tool also, that will
yeah,
be
that
better
will not
because
hurt. Yeah. I mean, if you want to have end to end, let's say sometime in your interviews as well, someone could ask some question, right? So that will also work for you, right? Okay. So this is me. So if someone is interested, I'll give my link. Oh, where is
which
my?
reporting tool we can cover like
We can.
Power BI or
I
Tableau or something like that.
I
I
can
mean, like
cover a Tableau as well. Tableau will work. I can show it in Athena. So that is fine. I mean, all the tools are similar. Like we can take any tool and then we can work on that. Right.
I mean, like most of the companies are asking for
Uh-huh.
Power BI.
Power BI
I mean,
is very popular. We can take one session on Power BI. That is done.
yeah, it will
Okay.
be helpful.
Okay. And in addition, if you want to have some, did I close YouTube? So if you also want to have additional or upgraded skill of this one, Azure uh, software, then you can also look for the Power BI videos over here as well, right? You can see that there are also many Power BI videos in this over here. So but I promise that I'll only give 1 day, okay, to Power BI. Okay, not going to vary them that.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
That I
I
can
mean,
do.
spend
like
1 day and you can share the resources.
Yeah.
That's
Yes. That's it. That would work. So I have shared my LinkedIn profile. If you are interested, you can connect with me. If you want to share anything, if you want to know anything about me, I am also welcome to for everyone. Okay, for any discussion, anytime. I am very this enthusiastic, and I want you all to have the same kind of enthusiast and give your best. Okay, I guess that is the time for now. Let me quickly sign off for today. Tomorrow we will connect and tomorrow we will talk about SQL, which is the very important. Okay. Then thank you so much.